All right, so we can start. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to the Digilearn Transnational webinar. It's called Bridging the Digital Divide, International Solidarity Era in the AI era, actually. So my name is Carlotta Campanini. I work at Venetian Cluster, I'm project manager. Venetian Cluster is an umbrella organization that is based in Venice, Italy. And we usually group SMEs together from the cultural and environmental heritage sector. So this is us. We are partner of the Digilearn project that is funded by the Erasmus Plus initiative. And so we are funded by the European Commission. And in the framework of the Digilearn project, we decided to organize this international webinar that is about digital inclusion and active aging. And it's an international organization, actually, of partners. It's an international consortium of partners that basically would like to bring together actors from this sector to discuss and have a mutual learning moment. So I hope that this can be a positive moment of exchange and a mutual learning from good practices. And I would like to for you to have the possibility to hear the speech of our speakers that will present different European initiatives, funded and not funded, that represent good practices in the topic of intergenerational exchange. So let's open the event with the presentation, a very brief greetings from Venetian Cluster Director, that is Mr. Sergio Calò, that will greet us, and we will say a few words about Venetian Cluster. So thank you, Sergio.
Thank you, Carlotta. Thank you, Carlotta, and good morning, everyone. Today I would like to present the Venetian Cluster as a genuine platform for development, innovation, and economic impact across the region, national, international, public and private partnership about the cultural and creative industries and cultural heritage. The starting point is the numbers. Over the years, Venetian Cluster has activated more than 180 national and European projects, generating over 119 million in resources. And this figure in particular is significant because it demonstrated a concrete ability to transform ideas, experience, and partnership into funded, operational, and measurable project impact. And the impact becomes even clear when we look at the figure in great detail. By 2026, the cluster's scope will include more 415 organizations like a university and SMEs. They connect the supply chain, count more than 119 projects completed and activity. And the budget through into the region expand is 190 million euros. But the most significant figure concept in the economic leverage. Against this activity budget and product leverage effect, the approximately 570 million is estimated, equal 3 times the generate budget. Even more relevant overall economic value and the supply chain, the presentation indicates over 2.3 billion in minimum documentable economic value and 46 point minimum documentable employments. These figures position Venetian Cluster not simple as a facilitator on funding opportunities, but as economic and project development infrastructure capable of influencing not only the Veneto region, because we stay in Bern, in Venice, but in national and international innovation system. And Venetian Cluster coordinates a network made more 800 companies and 24 organizations, including university, research center, public institution, and laboratories. And at the international level, it also collaborated with more than 2,000 partners across Europe and over Europe, like China, like South America, like Africa, and this means the Venetian does not operate as a single isolated entity, but as a mode within the board, ecosystem, and connected business, research, institution, and territory. This is a simple number, a simple presentation about our Venetian cluster. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. Thank you very much. So I will now leave the floor to Miss Inès Ekotto, that is from Eni International, that is based in France. And she is the coordinator of the Digilearn project, and she will welcome you and will say a few words about why we decided to organize this webinar and the framework of the Digilearn project. So Inès, the floor is yours.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. My name is Inès. I'm project manager at Eni International, located in France. Eni is a non-governmental, non-profit organization based in Paris, France. We work on inclusion, empowerment through education and projects that support people with fewer opportunities, especially around citizenship, participation, and access to learning. So about Digilearn, Digilearn was born from something we all see in real life, that is digital inclusion. It's not just about owning a phone or having Wi-Fi or this type of thing. For a lot of adults and especially seniors, the real difficulty is what happens after that. Feeling confident, knowing where to click, understanding information online, and not giving up. That's why we decided through the project to focus on something different from classic digital trading. So we worked on how to learn in digital environments. That is what we mean is how to stay motivated, how to organize yourself, how to practice, how to check information, and how to progress step by step. So the project targets two main groups, seniors, senior learners that have difficulties or who have low digital skills, including people who face extra barriers and may feel excluded from learning opportunities. And the second group are the trainers somehow who support these seniors, because we also need to equip them with with the essential elements.
Ciao, grazie di aver chiamato. Ascolta.
Sorry?
No, sorry, Inès, please continue.
Okay. So we need to equip them with elements to help these seniors improving their digital skills. So what we built in Digilearn is a blended approach that is an online platform with learning content, specifically 4 modules and quizzes, and pilot activities where partners test the platform with real participants and collect their feedback in order for us to improve the experience. The idea is not just to build something in theory, it's also to test it in real conditions and adjust at the same time. So a key strength Digilearn is the intergenerational dimension, because bringing the digital divide is also bringing confidence gaps between generations. Seniors often learn better when they feel supported and not judged, and younger people can play a role. They're not as experts, but as friendly support, helping with first steps, reducing stress, and making practice easier. That's also why we organized the training of trainers, for example, in Albania, where all the partners brought trainers, including young trainers, to discover the platform and the learning approach, so they could later on go in their different countries and implement the sessions back. So the purpose was to make sure the pilots wouldn't be just online, but supported by people who understand the method and can accompany senior learners in practical way. So that's the big picture. Digilearn is about making digital learning more accessible, realistic for adults and seniors, and helping them build their confidence. So later on, and in the presentation, we will show you in detail how we constructed the different modules. And thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Inès. Thank you very much. So our next speakers will greet us from Budapest, actually live, because they have a summit that is going on today and tomorrow. So please welcome Mr. Patrick Pennings, that actually is connected with us and will say a few words about European Seniors Union and the summit that they are organizing. Patrick, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Loud and clear.
So welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Houston, can you hear me? No, I'm
Hear
kidding.
well.
I'm just joking. Thank you for welcoming me, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit caught between two fires, because actually we are organizing indeed this major event here in Budapest. Beautiful Budapest, of course, after the political changes, even more beautiful, I would say. So we're very happy to be here in this very crucial times, and we had a number of testimonies this morning from the TISA youth about how changes will happen hopefully happen here in Hungary. I'm speaking to you from the European Youth Center in Budapest, which may be an interesting institution for you. And it's an institution from the Council of Europe, actually. And we're organizing this from the European Seniors Union, and the European Seniors Union together with quite a number of other organizations, because obviously seniors amongst ourselves, we wouldn't be able to on our own speak about intergenerational dialogue. That is the topic of today, solidarity between generations. And obviously, one of the key aspects in that is also the digital connectedness. So I would like to really warmly thank Digilearn, which is supported by Erasmus+, for this important initiative, and for inviting the voice of those European seniors, which I represent, that for this timely conversation. The theme of your seminar is really crucial to us: bridging the digital divide, intergenerational solidarity in the area of artificial intelligence. And the reason I will have to leave you shortly afterwards is very simple, that we are starting a workshop on this very topic within the framework of the conference. We're touching on quite a number of other issues as well, that is use of AI in business, and how the digital developments affect older and more younger employees, and so on and so forth. So across Europe, my dears, we know that we are witnessing an unprecedented digital transformation. AI, online services, digital communication tools, they're reshaping basically every aspect of our lives, from healthcare to banking to social interaction and democratic participation. So yet for too many older persons, this transformation risks becoming a source of exclusion rather than of empowerment and inclusion. That is precisely why, as our part of the program here in Budapest is dedicated to the digital divide and the urgent necessity to include seniors in these developments. Because digitalization is not only about technology, it is about people, it is about dignity, it is about equal participation, and that's what we are focusing on. A couple of years back, I was still working as the head of the Information Society Department of the Council of Europe, which was dealing not only with media freedom and freedom of expression, but also developed our international binding instruments on artificial intelligence, on cybercrime and electronic evidence, and also on data protection. And in that context, I asked at the time the president of the European Seniors Union to publicize a documentation about the digital era, also our era, written by Professor Anne Hermans. It reminds us of the fundamental truth that the digital era belongs to all of us, has to belong to all of us, not only to the young, not only to the technologically savvy, and equally to older generations. Now, and I would like to also dissipate this false paradigm, I would say, that young people are automatically technologically savvy. That is not the case. The difference, and that's why I don't like to use the word digital literacy, because digital literacy basically implies that you once and for all would have the tools to be able to operate in the digital society. The problem is it's not like learning the alphabet. If it were just like learning the alphabet, you could learn how to read and write. But with the digital transformation, we're talking about a constant transformation. That is like learning to write in Roman letters, and then you would have to switch to Cyrillic, and then you would have to switch to any other characters. That's a little bit the reality of the digital transformation. So for us, the message is really that we are not only passive recipients of care or technology. We are active citizens, holders of experience, knowledge, and democratic values. And we have expectations, needs, ambitions, also in the digital space. So what the seniors, which are present here, but not only, tell us. First, they want access, affordable, reliable, user-friendly digital tools and infrastructure. Let's face it, people living in rural areas are very often even more confronted with a lack of access. And that's not only the seniors, but it's for the whole of the rural areas. Second, they want skills, not just basic digital literacy, but create a confidence. They want the confidence to navigate an increasingly complex online environment, including also artificial intelligence. And third, they want trust, assistance that their data is protected, assurance that their data are protected, that technologies are ethical, and that they are not left vulnerable to misinformation and fraud. We all know that right now, senior citizens are particularly targeted by online fraud. They are considered more vulnerable, and they are more targeted by cyber criminals. Finally, they want purpose, the ability to use digital tools to stay connected, to participate in society, to engage in lifelong learning, and to contribute to their communities. That's where the intergenerational solidarity becomes a powerful force. It is really a crucial force for us. We often speak about teaching seniors digital skills, and indeed, that is essential, but the relationship must be mutual. Younger generations also have much to learn from the life experience, resilience, and the civic commitment of older people. In fact, Hungary is a little bit the exception, because in Hungary, during the recent elections, we have seen that young people have engaged quite a lot, which increased dramatically the participation of citizens in the elections, including young people. The reality is, in most of the European countries, my dears, this is the opposite, where younger people abstain much more from democratic forces. So what we're saying is digital education can and should become a two-way exchange, a space where generations meet, collaborate, and grow together. And that is the purpose of the European Day of Solidarity between generations. And projects like Digilearn are leading the way by showing that digital inclusion is not just a technical challenge, it is a social and a human challenge. By bringing generations together, you're not only teaching skills, you are strengthening social cohesion and combating isolation. Isolation is one of the key marks, unfortunately, of our society. And isolation and loneliness do not only concern senior citizens. They also concern those who are connected on a daily basis on their online tools. It doesn't mean that they are not lonely. So combating isolation, combating loneliness is a challenge for all. I'm from a different generation than most of your participants today. The thing is, I see that this loneliness and this social isolation is a creeping feature. And we need to be able to combat together this creeping feature. And let us also be clear, digital exclusion today can quickly become social exclusion tomorrow. If seniors cannot access digital services, they risk losing access to essential rights. We're now working on a convention at a world level, at the United Nations level, about human rights of seniors. It is human rights about all, but why do we specifically talk about human rights of seniors? For the simple reason that at some point in life, and you're most, I think all of you are too young to consider that, but at some point in time, you're confronted with some kind of a cutoff date, by which it's like a use-by date, yeah. And once that use-by date is passed, you're no longer considered one of the citizens that needs to be incorporated. So it needs to be acceptable, or it is not acceptable in a society that values equality and human dignity. Therefore, we must act really collectively. Policymakers must ensure inclusive digital strategies. Educational institutions must promote lifelong learning. Civil society must create opportunities for intergenerational dialogue. All of that is crucial in the way we interact together. And I think civil society must create those opportunities for intergenerational dialogue. Technology developers must design with inclusivity in mind. At the European Seniors Union, in fact, we firmly believe that there is what I was going to say, we firmly that there is that no one should be left behind in this digital transition. So the digital era is indeed also our era, but only if we make it so, if we do it together. So let me conclude just by this thought. Intergenerational solidarity is not just about supporting one another. It is about shaping the future together. A future where technology connects rather than that it divides, empowers rather than excludes, and strengthens the bonds between generations. And we're counting on each and every one to do so. So thank you very much for your attention. And I really hope that with my intervention, short intervention, I'm sorry, I helped you to continue the reflection. So thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patrick, for having us and for presenting your point of view. That was really enrichful for our webinar. So thank you again. We are ready now to start our first panel discussion that will see 3 different projects in comparison. And the panel is about rethinking digital education and engagement, of course, in the intergenerational point of view. With seniors and youngsters. So we will have the Digilearn project that will present their learning models that they have prepared. We have prepared for the project. Then we will have the smartphone license for grandparents initiative. And then we will have the engaged project from Greece. So let's continue with the speakers. And I will leave the floor to Sabela Ben-Sarandon, that is from FEMSA, that is partner of the Digilearn project. So Sabela, the floor is yours.
Hello.
Sabela? Yeah, okay, perfect.
You hear me now?
Yes,
okay,
now, yes.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Sabela Ben-Sarandon. I am here presenting from FEMSA, a training provider with more than 25 years of experience in adult education and digital learning. So today I will briefly introduce the structure of the training program and then focus on the module 1, which is about pedagogy and digital learning for seniors. Okay, so about the platform, first, a brief overview of the Digilearn platform and training structure. The project focuses on supporting adult learners, especially seniors and people with low digital skills, to better learn in digital environments. The training program is hosted in an online platform designed to be accessible, flexible, and user-friendly. This is particularly important when working with diverse groups, including intergenerational learning contexts where different levels of digital competence coexist. The program is structured into four modules focused on key learning to learn competencies. In this sense, the platform supports different learning paces and needs, which is essential when working with heterogeneous groups. The next slide, please, is modules. Here we have the training program. It's composed of 4 modules. The module 1 is focusing on methodologies for senior learners, including pedagogy and inclusive digital education. The module number 2 addresses growth mindset, helping learners build confidence and motivation. The module 3 focuses on critical thinking, which is essential in digital environments. And module 4 is about managing learning, including time and information. Together, these modules can support not only individual learning, but also collaborative and intergenerational learning processes. And module 1 focuses on how to effectively support senior learners in digital learning environments. Many adult learners face challenges such as low digital skills, lack of confidence, or limited experience with online learning. It is also important to consider that many senior learners might feel insecure when using digital tools, so building confidence is a key element for the learning process. So for this reason, the module is based on pedagogy, which adapts teaching approaches to the needs of older learners. It includes practical strategies such as using simple and clear content, step-by-step guidance, and creating supportive learning environments. This is especially relevant in intergenerational context where younger learners or mentors can support seniors in navigating digital tools, while seniors contribute with their experience and perspective. This creates a more inclusive and collaborative learning environment. And thank you very much for your attention. And that's all.
Thank you, Sabella. I'm sorry for the slides. My mouse is too sensible. So we will have now my colleague Marisa Macrini that will present the following module number 2. So I leave the floor to her for the presentation.
Thank you, Carlotta, and thank you, Sabella, for presenting the first module of DigiLearn. My name is Marisa Macrini. I am project partner of the project DigiLearn, and I will present to you the module 2 of the project. The module 2 is based on the concept of a growth mindset. So the idea is that people can continue learning and developing skills through their entire lives. The module is based on 3 key principles. So a cognitive neuroplasticity, so the leveraging the brain's lifelong ability to reorganize and learn. Psychological safety, so normalizing errors as part of the learning journey. And the module also helps challenge common stereotypes, such as the idea that technology is only for younger generation. So we believe that digital inclusion means giving everyone the opportunity to participate confidently in today's digital society. Next slide, please. So we wanted to transform the growth mindset into practical everyday benefits, and this can be summarized in 3 pillars. So social connectivity through training in digital communication, such as video, email, messaging, to mitigate the risk of social isolation of their adults, and daily autonomy, so enabling a safe navigation on the online service that can be used in everyday lives, and also cognitive longevity, so structure daily learning to stimulate the curiosity into older seniors, and also independence in using digital tools. The main message of this module is simple, so it is never too late to learn, and with the right support, the project aims to believe that technology can become a tool for confidence, independence, and social connection. So I will leave the floor to Griselda to present the module 3, and thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Marisa. Thank you. So we have now Griselda that will present the 4th module of the Digilearn project. So as you have understood, these modules are all available on our platform. That is a digital platform that you can access from the website of the Digilearn project. So Griselda, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I'm Griselda. As my colleagues already presented me, I am here to, in behalf of Together for Life organizations, who were responsible for the creation of Module 3. Could you pass on? Yes, Module 3 was basically focused on the introduction of media and information literacy, and basically what media and information literacy is the ability to access, analyze, and evaluate, and also create information critically, responsibly. Why this matters in the context that we are working with, so in the context of the Digilearn project, which is the participation of the elderly generation in the digital world. This matters because it helps these individuals navigate into today's complex information environment and make also informed decision and avoid misinformation in the digital world that we live in. Could we pass to the next slide? Why it matters today? Because unfortunately, in the moment, we are living in a world of informational overload and also misinformation risk. These are two main risks that the adult learners and also elderly learners face every single day. The informational overload is the fear of also kind of gives the risk to misinformation. So because of this information overload, we constantly exposed to a large amount of information through media, social platforms, and also digital tools, which makes it difficult to identify what is actually relevant and what is not, which sends us to a risk of misinformation. Could you help me with the next slide? Media and informational literacy in adult education. Even though Mr. Patrick said that he did not like using the word media literacy, hearing his explanation, I completely understand the not wanting to use that word because of the reasons that he already spoke about. But in the context that we're talking to, it's like a learning day by day as the world progresses and as the digital world progresses and changes every day. We change with it and we learn how to cope with it, and we do not leave anyone behind. So in adult education, practical learning is very important and essentially valuable because adults learn best when content is practical, relevant, and useful in everyday life. Could you help me with the next slide? Intergenerational impact. So since our main topic today is the intergenerational impact, one of the key achievements of Module 3 was placing intergenerational awareness at the center of media literacy learning. The module was designed to bring generations closer through shared understanding of today's digital environment. Young generations often feel more confident with digital tools, while older adults contribute to experience, critical judgment, and practical wisdom by encouraging dialogue and cooperation. The module promotes mutual learning, reduces stereotypes, and helps bridge the digital divide between generations. Could you help me with the next slide? Practical tools that were delivered. Some of the practical tools that were delivered through the Module 3 was the everyday use and the craft method. These both methods were kind of a focus of this module to help participants recognize misinformation, evaluate online content, and also make safer digital decisions. Could you help me with the next slide? The project impact, what we believe that the whole DigiLearn project and not the only Module 3 actually, impact was creation of critical thinking and strengthening the critical thinking process. Learners became more aware of how to question sources, how to identify bias, and also verify information before trusting it, and also the digital confidence, because as we talked even previously, the adult learners and elderly learners have this fear of and this lack of digital confidence, which our project and our platform aims to give and to raise our confidence in these learners. Could you help me with the next and I think the last? Why this matters, as I already mentioned, media literacy is more than digital skills. It strengthens communities by promoting trust, inclusion, and informed participation. When generations learn together, they become better prepared to face misinformation and rapid digital change. Okay, this was all from my side. As we told you, and as Marisa told you, and Sabila also told you, we do have a platform, and everything, all these modules are part of this platform, and the modules are also connected with some quizzes, so it can help bring from theory to practice each learner. Thank you.
Thank you, Griselda. Thank you very much. So we have Inès again to present us the following modules. Inès, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So very briefly, our module 4 was on managing learning, broadening your learning. So this module basically is to help seniors gain confidence and actually plan the way they learn, the way they acquire the digital skills. Can I have the slides, please? Thank you. So this, as I said before, it's helping seniors learn and build habits and confidence to learn effectively on a daily basis. So the main focus of the module was to setting clear and realistic learning goals, staying motivated throughout the process and keeping confidence, organizing the learning with the time, with the a list, a routine, a space, and becoming more independent step by step. Next slide. And by the outcome of the module basically was to create a simple plan using a SMART goal. I mean, we explained to them what is SMART because obviously all of them don't know. So we gave them tools, we gave them examples on what they could do actually regarding the SMART goals. And then another outcome was the use of easy strategies to stay engaged and avoid giving up. Same here, we give them tools for that, and they have to build a routine, short session, progress tracking with a list, and apply learning to real digital tasks. That is email. We give them, we produce little exercises like sending an email, organizing a call, online search, or buying stuff online. So basically, that's what Module 4 is about. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So these are the contacts for the Digilearn project and social media. You can also see that very soon in the chat, we're going to paste the platform URL so that you can actually click on that and see what it is about. So we can now continue with Mr. Luca Bonetti, that is educator at Fondazione ENAIP Lombardia, and we'll talk about the smartphone license for grandparent initiative. So Luca, the floor is yours.
So thank you very much and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. As I told you, I had a bit of a problem with the computer, so I'm here with my headphones and the mobile phone. And talking about mobiles, I'm here to show you a project which name is in Italian Patentino Nonni smartphone. That sounds like smartphone license for grandparents. So something like that. And this project was collaboration between my school, our school, Fondazione ENAIP Lombardia, and ACLI, A-C-L-E. ACLI is basically a Catholic workers organization. And this collaboration create the project, which name, as I told you, is like a smartphone license for grandparents. And the project was designed and led by Mr. Giuseppe Planu, which is the tutor of the ICT course in our school. And of course, he's a colleague and a friend of mine. Could you please show, Carlotta, the first slide, the one which title is A Project, a Shared Educational Vision. Yes, perfect. Okay, so the program began in January and lasted until a week ago, more or less, on the 23rd of April, I think. And it was a success. And at the end, there was a final ceremony also with participant of the municipality of Magenta, our city. In this project, there was a group of students. There was a group of students, and there was a group of seniors working together. in a kind of a reverse of the traditional roles. I mean, normally seniors teach to the students. In this case, the students were teaching to the seniors, and they were teaching how to use, for example, smartphones or mobile applications, or how to access public services and something like that. There were 23 students and 15 seniors participants. The students prepared the lessons, prepared the materials, and made at the end a kind of learning passport with the progress that the seniors did during the course. As I told you, the impact was extremely positive because the students find a way to explain something that normally they can't face. I mean, because they normally talk about informatical tools just with teachers and not with seniors and people that they don't know actually. So they have to improve their skills, their communication, and of course it's a good way to create a bridge, a link between two generations, the young people and the older people. This was the first project. The past year we just did a kind of pilot, but the next year we would like to improve this situation, maybe doing something with the computers, with laptop, so not only with mobiles, but also with computers and laptop and something like that.
Perfect, Luca. You want for me to continue these slides?
Oh yes, it's just that I can't see. I just can see the upper part and not the lower part. I'm sorry.
Not a worry. So yeah, you just cover basically what is already written here. So if you want to conclude, as you know, here during this webinar, we have a lot of partners from different countries that are working on the same topic. So you have seen also the Digilearn project was using laptops with their trainings inside these 4 modules that you have seen. So we are trying as well on a digital level to provide learning for seniors. So we can continue closing the last speakers of panel 1, that is Mr. Stella Panagiotou, and she is
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you. So she is working at Athens Lifelong Learning Institute in Athens, and she will present us the e-Engage project. So Stella, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
First of all, good afternoon to all of you, and I would like to thank the Digilearn team and the Venetian Cluster for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to present the Engaged project and our contribution to the matter of the intergenerational learning. Allow me to introduce myself. As Calò already told you, I am Stella Panagiotou and I represent the Athens Lifelong Learning Institute, which is a civil society organization based in Athens, Greece. Today we'll be presenting the Engaged project, which was a SERV 2022 project that closed these days 1 year ago. And we were coordinating this project, which of course the main thematic of which was implementation of intergenerational learning methodologies, with the main focus on the subject of disinformation and building resilience for both younger people and seniors, and to reinforce social trust among the target groups, and resilience against disinformation and digital participation. So first of all, just some important information about the Engaged project. The project brought together a multidisciplinary partnership with NGOs, educational institutes that interact with both target groups, both the seniors and younger populations, and also some major European umbrella organizations, including the European Federation of Journalists and the European Association of Viewers' Interests. Yeah, so proceeding with the main problem of the project. So eEngaged was designed and implemented from the start based on the belief that disinformation is not a technical matter, but much more of a matter of democracy, which means that eEngaged aspired to tackle disinformation, which on its own turn breeds the declining trust towards media, and also polarization and extremism. The project from the start recognized that seniors often experience digital and social exclusion, if I may, due to their lack of critical knowledge and the tools to examine the info that they interact with. And the other target group, the youth, often become target for polarization and extremist content. So the mission of eEngaged was pretty clear. Was to increase the digital and political participation of the both target groups by tackling the low media literacy skills and also social exclusion. If we may proceed to the next slide, thank you. The two target groups of the project, the main target groups, because it did not exclude the other participants, but the main target groups were younger people aged among 18 and 25, and older adults aged above 50 years old. Which, if we could say, those two target groups are often considered to be at the opposite sides of the digital divide spectrum. But in the context of eEngaged, we consider them to be the most ideal target groups that can contribute to creating a shared solution to the problem of disinformation and the digital divide and exclusion. So, in the next slide, what is again really the importance of intergenerational methodologies? First of all, the project tried to bring together people of different ages in a meaningful way in order to tackle stereotypes and build mutual learning experiences and social trust. And try to help seniors feel more comfortable in their interactions with the digital world, and increase the feeling of empathy and social responsibility in the younger target groups. But the core innovation of eEngaged in the next slide is that it did not just employ trainers or researchers to interact with seniors, but we firstly interacted and trained 250 young volunteers coming from the first target group, the so-called media literacy trainers, which on their own turn later on proceeded with training on their own, and of course with the help of experts, the senior target group, giving significant importance mostly to the critical literacy part, not so much the this process. And the reason why this methodology was considered successful is that it builds social trust, and it was considered as a community building exercise, not just the transforming and the providing with technical knowledge. And nextly, just a small overview of the project's activities. As I already said, at the start of the project, we produced materials after mapping processes, and we delivered the train the trainer events, as I said, with the younger audiences, in order to provide them with the necessary knowledge to be the media literacy trainers. And then the younger audiences on their own turn trained 170 seniors all over Europe, in Greece, Italy, and France. Nextly, we try to create a space for improving the intergenerational responsibility, which means that we created spaces for debate, the so-called intergenerational training events, where more than 400 individuals from the participating countries, had the opportunity to interact and implement the so-called community building exercises. And finally, a series of events were delivered on behalf of both the European umbrella organizations and the national organizations, which provided us with the opportunity to interact with journalism and media professionals in order to reinforce trust in journalism. And the last thing I would like to mention is that we had created a network of the media literacy trainers, which we all welcome you to join in case you're interested in the matters that we are currently presenting. I think that it's in the 2 slides, in the next 2 slides. Yes, so if anyone would like to join, you're all welcome. And I think that's it on my behalf. And if I could conclude, I would say that the essence of this project was not just to make the 2 target groups interact and to produce the tools, but to also give access to each other through the intergenerational learning methodologies. Thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, you are more than welcome.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you very much. So I left the QR code visible, so if anybody wants to scan it, they have the time. So if the participants have any question, please do not hesitate to write them in the chat. We're going to go back to the question later on. And also the speakers, if you want to include in the chat some links that can bring the participants to your websites, that will be also welcome. So right now we have some question that I will ask you for the speakers of panel 1, just to have a little conversation about the topics that we just covered. So the first question would be, how can we ensure that digital tools can enhance rather than replace the human connection between the generations? So if you can reflect a little about this and share with us your opinion. Who would like to take the floor? Yes, Inès.
Just to reply briefly, I would say that we can do that by making the digital tools as a supportive experience, something that pair young people and seniors. It should not be something that will totally replace the experience that people have with each other, So the tools, the digital tools, should not replace the relationship or the interactions that humans have between themselves, but instead should be a supportive element for people to be paired together. That's how I see it.
Thank you, Inès. Thank you. Any other answers?
Yeah, I do agree. And as I told you before, digital tools are something that fills our life and probably will fill our lives in the future. So it is certainly a link, a bridge between generations, but also a bridge that can be trying, especially for seniors. And I think that both groups can gain something from this. The students, for example, by explaining the digital tools to other people, can understand, can improve their speech abilities, can improve their communication skills, can improve their empathy with people of another generation, and of course, responsibility.
Thank you, Luca. Yes, in fact, I was thinking what Patrick said before. So the fact that there is this loneliness both in both generations, because the youngster have this loneliness that is possibly also caused by social media, so less interaction between, you know, real life, and the seniors are lonely. So that is kind of a loneliness that, in this case, our project are trying to bridge this gap, bringing together the two generations with also the excuse of learning together, but it's also, you know, staying together as well, one of the objectives. So I totally agree. Any other comments about this? Or I should say also the other question I have for you, that is instead a question I would like for you to answer with only one word. So think about the word and then possibly motivate that word. So in just one word, what is the most essential quality for a young mentor that the young mentor needs to effectively bridge the gap between the seniors learners? So what are the qualities that the young mentor need to have in terms of, yeah, so Griselda, I see your hand.
Well, I would like to say the word empathy. And should I explain why? Or
yes, please.
I think that the most important quality that is needed in such a type of work is empathy. And as a young person, but also who has to work with young people as well as all the older generation, the only way to kind of cope and understand and break the bridge between the generations is empathy, understanding the lack of confidence that the other person might have, but also be thankful and get all the experience and the information from the other person that you're supposed to teach, because even though you're teaching something, you're also learning something. So I think empathy is the most important quality that is needed, and then of course the other qualities, but you have to start with that.
Perfect. Thank you, Griselda. So I see also Stella has the raised hand. So Stella.
Thank you. This was also the first word that came into my mind. If I could say another word, it would be something similar, like being communicative or something like that. Because I consider that, and this was also something that guided the implementation of the Engaged project, that empathy and communication are the foundation of the intergenerational learning approach, because technical skills on their own are not enough to bridge the digital divide if the younger person is not able to step into the senior's shoes. And I also believe that those characteristics are essential in order to reinforce the social element of the intergenerational methodologies, and in order to build social trust. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stella. Thank you so very much. I see also that Inès has the raised hand. So Inès.
So thank you. If I may add, the word that came first was empathy, but also I think patience is very important for young mentor, because I feel like maybe senior learners, they don't need stress, they don't need people to pressurize them. So they actually need someone really patient that will give them time to read, to acknowledge everything in a calm environment. So that's just what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Inès. I see that Luca wants to say something.
And my word, I think, would be sharing. Sharing something, give to someone a part of you. I think this is really important, especially when we are talking about, as we said before, different generation. In this way, extremes can effectively meet.
Thank you, Luca. So if any other speakers want to add something, they are free to do that. But I think all the relevant words that we have seen are, of course, are good answers. From my point of view, I will also say the capacity of listening, because, of course, in this world that we are living, we have, extra quickness in everything that we are doing. So the capacity of staying calm and have the, availability to stay there and listen to the needs of the other person in this case are also very relevant. All right. So if no other speaker want to add something here, I propose to continue with the second panel of today that is instead dedicated to culture, memory, and active aging. So in this panel, we will have the speakers presenting the Legend project and the AGED project. So let me give the floor to Miss Laura Mazzoli, that is working with Anziani Non Solo, and she is a sociologist and she's the manager of the Legend project. So Laura, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Carlotta, and I would also like to thank Venetian Cluster and the DigiLearn team for having us today and sharing and discussing about these themes that are really, really important. Okay, first of all, the Legend project, it's a European founded project, and it's about bridging generation by transforming cultural memory into digital legacy. And why we needed to have this project, because as we discussed also before and mentioned before, you can go to the next slide, there are some challenges that Europe is actually sharing, that its older adults face social isolation, have limited access to services and exclusion for civic life. And on the other hand, we have younger people who actually lack structured pathway for civic engagement. But as we mentioned before, funny enough, these both generation experience loneliness and ageism, but they really met in the proposal setting. So what the Legend project wants to do is to respond to this gap by connecting older adults and youth through shared digital creativity rooted in a local heritage. We are doing this project by having four countries and 5 partners. We have Italy, Belgium, Greece, and Cyprus. Next slide. So what is Legend and what are their main aim and result? As I said before, it aims to bridge together older adults and young people to co-create digital stories that are place-based. So they are about the places that are meaningful and shape the life of the two groups. The 4 activity and the 4 result is the first one is a training for adult educators and facilitator. This training aims to give them the ability to facilitate intergenerational group. The second activities will be some local outings and walks with older people and younger people through meaningful city sites. Then we will do some digital storytelling workshop in which we will be recording reflection and building short narratives about the sites that we had came through the small works. And at the end, we will have some online digital map, cultural map, in which the places will be pinned in each city's map, and there will be the creation of this public online cultural map. So the main aim is the slide before, okay, thank you. The main aim is to preserve the heritage and to promote volunteerism and build inclusive learning communities. I think that the most important things to keep in mind is that the exchange that these two groups will be having is reciprocal. So the people of different ages will bring the valuable experience, cultural knowledge, and skills, and through their interaction, they will build a new perspective together. Next slide. We are actually at the very start of this project because we started a few months ago. So what we need is we did a need assessment, and that this need assessment revealed that across the countries there is in fact a strong appetite for collaboration. There is a strong motivation by the two groups to engage with each other. They did recognize that there is a digital gap, but they also said that it's not unsurmountable. And also the tool of the storytelling resonated with all the generation. They did share some key challenges. The first one is the different energy levels and the different schedule of time. And they have some stereotype and communication barriers. But also during the focus group and the questionnaire, they also shared that this misconception can be overcome, creating a moment of mutual learning about each other. So with curiosity, kindness, and patience. And so the digital storytelling works actually for intergenerational inclusion because it's a social technology for inclusion. Because digital storytelling engage people not only as listeners, but also as storytellers and co-creators. The digital storytelling brings together experience, knowledge, and perspective, builds communication, empathy, like the return of this word, empathy and collaboration. It does strengthen the connection to community and shared narratives, and also creates a collective digital legacy. So I think that what I want to share about the Legend project is that the digital map, the online map, is not the goal, but is the outcome of the relationship. This relationship that it is the walking, the listening, the recording, the editing together is where the actual inclusion happens. Next slide. Thank you. As I said before, the project has just started. So what we are doing now is to develop the manual for the facilitator. So there are educational material for support the educator in fostering including intergenerational collaboration through urban and digital storytelling. The 5 modules, you can see them below, these facilitation techniques, digital literacy, urban and digital storytelling, guided excursion, and resource for trainers. When the toolkit will be ready, we will be doing a piloting with the educators and also with the 2 groups. But this is just a start. but the two groups are very, very happy to work with each other and to engage with each other. So I think it's a pretty good start. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. It was really interesting. So very good luck for your project that is starting. So we hope to hear a very good news in the future. So we can now continue with the next speaker of panel 2, that is Daniele Vagnozzi. He will present us the AGIT project, that is aging well in an aging society. So Daniele, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So we can start with the first slide, please. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Daniele Vagnozzi, and I'm talking to you on behalf of AGIT. And let's go to the second slide. Thank you. Well, Italy is, from a demographic perspective, a truly exceptional country. Why? Because we are witnessing an extreme combination of factors. One of the lowest birth rates in the world, and at the same time, one of the highest life expectancies. The result? One of the oldest populations globally. This exceptional demographic profile is set to become even more pronounced in the future, and the image shown in the slide visually illustrates the outcome of the United Nations demographic projections through to the year 2100. According to these projections, Italy is expected to experience the steepest population decline in Europe, with a loss of 23.8 million people. More than 1 in 3 Italians will disappear from our cities. Let's move on, please. And it's important to understand that this exceptional demographic situation is not only a challenge, but the increase in life expectancy is also a great opportunity for all of us. And the essential goal of AGIT is to align this longer life expectancy with a better quality of life. To give meaning and fullness to the additional years we have gained. So it's not about adding years to life, but life to years. How? Through research into the genetics of aging, a new longevity economy, age-friendly cities redesigned for all generations, and stronger and more inclusive social relationships, and the smart use of advanced technologies. Next slide, please. So, in this context, is in this concept that AGIT was established. Is an extended partnership guided by the University of Florence and supported by the National Recovery and Resilience Plan with nearly 115 million in funding. And why is AGIT important? Because AGIT is the first integrated program which, through an holistic and interdisciplinary and evidence-based approach, aims to address the consequences and challenges of population aging, creating for the first time in the country, in Italy, a widespread alliance between social sciences, biomedical sciences, and technological sciences. And as you can see, we have a consortium of 27 public and private partners aiming to transform population aging from a problem, as is often perceived, into an opportunity. 114 million in funding, 10 challenges, 10 spokes, 58 additional partners involved through a cascade calls, and over 1,000 researchers involved, with more than 700 new recruitments, over 60% of whom are women. Nearly 150 early career researchers have been recruited, and mostly on 3-year contracts. Let's move on, please. So, as you can see, the strength of AGIT lies in the integrated approach. So we have different levels, no? At the biological level by studying the cellular and molecular mechanism of senescence. We have the individual level by analyzing trajectories of active and healthy aging. We have social and organizational level by examining care networks, local services, and the silver economy. And we have the macro level by investigating pension sustainability, intergenerational equity, and public policies. So, from the cell to society. At each of these levels, we have produced high quality results recognized by leading international scientific journals, but not only scientific publications, but also innovative care models, new guidelines, protocols, and prototypes. Next slide. Our numbers. The objective of aging is, well, goes beyond scientific excellence, generating new evidence and data, initially at a low level of technological readiness. But over time, these results have increasingly evolved toward practical application, moving from research to prototypes, policy tools, and market solutions, and well, the results clearly demonstrate this progression, because we have 1,000 publications, as you can see, 1,000 scientific presentations, new clinical cohorts, new policy indicators, 18 policy briefs, toolkits, best practices, the creation of startups, prototype software, and patents, and over 100 stakeholders involved, and approximately 30,000 participants. So research creates value only through close interaction with stakeholders, and the most impactful results are still to come. The upcoming Gateway to AGIT platform at the right will enable broad access to research outcomes enhanced by artificial intelligence. Next slide. Thanks to 3 years of AGIT activities, the groundwork has been laid to move from fragmentation to a systemic approach in aging research, because it's now essential to foster dialogue between institutions, to pool research and data collections on prevention and active aging, to analyze solution. What is needed is a single national scientific center on aging. Such institutions already exist. Maybe you know, in France, for instance, the United Kingdom, Germany, Portugal, United States, Canada, even China established a national center on aging recently. And next slide. Okay, Italy too must design a central hub to bring together and coordinate all the key factors interested in promoting multidisciplinary research on aging. This is the vision behind the proposed Italian Institute on Aging. The objectives of the Institute are position Italy as an international scientific hub for longevity, provide a systemic vision of aging, overcoming disciplinary fragmentation, and build an inclusive society for all ages. Next. So aging well is not just about living longer, but about giving new meaning to all stages of life and fostering an inclusive and intergenerational society. AGIT shows that research and innovation are ready for a paradigm shift. The time is now, and if not now, when? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you very much. So we have seen that your project was very long in terms of years of implementing, and we have seen also that Laura's project is instead at the starting point. So I have some question for you as well. Maybe we can find a common ground to compare the two experiences that we can discuss together. So if you agree, I would like to ask you some questions. So my first question would be, looking at your respective projects, what is the single most important value that society regains when we stop seeing aging as a burden? So Instead, we can maybe see it as a cultural resources. So please try to think about one word that could answer this question and possibly motivates this word to the participants. So what could be the most important value for societies that stop seeing aging as a burden and instead see it as a cultural resource?
I can start.
Yes.
I think that the main value for the society is maybe wisdom, and not as something that old people know better, but it's the capacity to connect past experience to present challenges. In fact, during In Legend, we witnessed something unexpected. Young people who struggle to engage with history as a school subject became more and more curious when the same history was told by someone who had lived it. We had an older people who was 10 when Italy was liberated by fascism in the Second World War, and he told how American with the tank gave him some chocolate, and the younger people were so fascinated, and they started asking so many questions about World War II. So having a person, a face, a voice change everything. And because older adults just don't remember, they do make history something alive. So it is something that no textbook and no algorithm can replace it. So I think that.
Thank you, Laura, for your vision of this live history. Daniela, you have some comments?
I really like the Laura answer, and I think that I can add near to wisdom and knowledge, maybe cooperation and connections, because we need to cooperate. We need to merge different fields of our knowledge, of our wisdom, of our action. For instance, as AGIT does with economy, biology, but also psychology, sociology, and very different fields, have to cooperate to build a new perspective of aging. So connections and cooperation are the most important value for me, and it's what we are doing now in this event, with Digilearn.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you. This is really kind. And actually, my last question would be more about the legacy of your project. So maybe this would be more easier for Daniele because the AGIT project has already, years of implementation. But what could be also, maybe Laura, for you, the legacy of your project? So something that is going to be left behind after this project will finish. So maybe you can a little reflect of what is the legacy for the next generation, whether through the digital stories or the new models of well-being. What would be the word that you are thinking of and why?
You want to go, Daniele?
Well, please.
So as the project has already started, but I really hope that the legacy will be a sense of belonging. It's not just digital skills, it's not just cultural representation. It's the feeling that you matter and your story is worth telling and also worth listening to. When young people and older adults build together, it's the experience of being seen by someone that maybe it's not your generation, but the sense of belonging, maybe being part of a community, of society across time. I think it's what I hope the Legend project can bring.
Thank you, Laura. Daniele, you want to comment?
Yeah, I think our legacy would be the change in perspective, the change of point of view on aging as a process and not aging as a status, as a moment in life. I think the most important change age is bringing on is the cultural change, the cultural point of view that aging, we start aging the moment we're born. So we are not old people, but we are aging people during the life. So also a baby too is an aging person.
Thank you, Daniele. So this was really wonderful. So thank you for this conversation. We will proceed with the final panel of today's webinar. It is instead dedicated to digital health and compassionate care. So we will see 3 projects presented here during this panel. The first one is the DigiEduCancer project, and then we will have the Space for Caregivers project, and finally the longevity project. So let me welcome the next speaker, that is Mr. Andrea Giannelli, that is a psychologist and is also working at the Fondazione NT, Francesco Pennuti ETS, and he will present us the 2 projects that I've just mentioned. So Andrea, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, a little low. Maybe you can...
A little low, okay. Now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'd like to thank, first of all, Digilearn and Venetian Cluster for inviting me in this attractive webinar with super interesting topics and people, and to thank also Carlotta Campanini for logistic management and kindness. And I don't have much time, so I will introduce myself. Only say I am a psychologist working for ANT Foundation, and I'm involved in psychological assistance to oncological people and their families, among other activities. As Carlotta said in this presentation, I'd like to talk about 2 European projects where ANT is involved. But firstly, some information about ANT Foundation. ANT means National Assistance Tumor, and since 1978, ANT has been providing free of charge home care for 170,000 advanced cancer patients and their whole families. The management of suffering and pain has always been our priority. ANT was born in Bologna, but as you can see by the map, has spread in 12 regions in Italy. And ANT Foundation has 4 pillars: home care, prevention, education, and research. Could you help me with the next slide, please, Carlotta? And as regard the home care, as you can see, ANT provide medical, nursing, and psychological assistance 24/7 every day of the years to oncological patients and their whole families. For example, with psychosocial support to during the assistance and after for the grief process. Next slide, please. And I'd like to focus on the adult education project in the Erasmus Plus within the Erasmus Plus contents, especially on DigiEduCancer and Space for Caregiver, because they seem to fit with the topic of this webinar. In fact, one of the objectives of this project is that of enhancing digital literacy to improve health outcomes and family caregiving. DigiEduCancer means digital materials to support oncological patients and their families, and 5 European partners involved in the project in different regions of Europe, for example, Turkey, Romania, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. Next slide, please. Thank you. DigiEduCancer aims at integrate oncology healthcare by providing patients and their family with the information, the resources and guidance they need in a direct and accessible way using new digital channels. These materials will be collected in an online platform where multimedia materials created by the partnership specifically to meet the needs of the oncological patients and their families. The materials consist, for example, in ebook with educational contents that will address the care assistance. For example, some modules address the topic as cancer nutrition, medication consideration, psychological support, side effects of therapies, and the management of patients at home, etc. And some of these modules were also turned into educational videos in which various experts discussed the topic, and these educational videos containing practical and applicable medical advice for cancer patients and their families. Obviously, each material was translated into English and into the languages of the partnership. Next slide, please. As regard the result, the project provide the participants with tools to acquire knowledge and effective strategies to cope with the treatment and post-treatment journey, addressing some of their needs. And the project results were available on 3 levels. The first one is for the patients who can access and obtain useful and reliable information quickly and in an easy way. The second one is for family members who, through the development of new skills, will be able to improve their care and personal experience. And the third is for healthcare services. They were able to make healthcare more efficient, technologically advanced, and more responsive to people's needs. And in conclusion of this DigiEduCancer project, the specific training program supports and complements healthcare through the implementation of new communication channel and digital technologies to improve support for the oncological patients and their families in the many countries of Europe. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce you to the second project, Space for Caregivers project, of which we are the proud creators and applicant. Space for Caregivers means standby, palliative, and elderly caregivers, and play with the acronym SPACE, that means in Latin POP. And 5 European partners is involved within the project, Foundation, Galilei from Greece, Hospice Civil de Lyon from France, Istitutul Phoenix from Romania, and University of Padua from Italy. The project is aimed to three target population: oncological patients and patients in palliative care. Why caregivers of oncological patients? Because we know that that cancer is a family disease that affects not only who have been the diagnosis, but also the entire family. And this is why Ant pay attention to caregiver in palliative care. The second target population is healthcare professional involved in palliative care. And the third one is the formal elderly caregivers. And the latter is a group that often consists of people from disadvantaged social classes with limited social network and lack access to resources. For example, because they come from war-torn areas, such as Ukraine, for example. And Space for Caregivers is a training program aimed at equipping them with the essential skills needed to manage distress and prevent burnout. The project started in October 2025 and will finish in September 2027. Next slide, please. As you can see, the project is divided into different working projects. So, for example, the second is the preparation, consists in the preparation of instructional materials and development on the interpretive conceptual framework with a preliminary analysis of the scientific literature made by UniPD to inform the design of a semi-structured narrative interview to be administered to 20 caregivers, 5 for each country. Case studies will be derived from a qualitative thematic analysis of the interviews and will then be used in the role-playing exercise during the course, so in the WP4. In the WP3, the WP3 consists in course material design and development and creation of educational content for the 3 modules of the blended course to be delivered in WP4. For example, some materials are 6 role-playing scenarios in English and the other language of the partnership, 2 for healthcare professional, 2 for informal caregiver, 2 for formal caregivers or older adults, 15 open educational resources such as ebooks, video clips, or audio in English and in other languages, and 3 sets of slides for the classroom portion of the 3-module course in different language and English. And the materials will be used even in an asynchronous individual training setting. And this is not only to provide caregivers with flexible training, but also to enable the sharing of training materials with a wider audience. And the WP4 is the local implementation of the course in each country partner, divided in 3 modules, as you can see. The first one for recognition and awareness of the symptoms of burnout. The second one for using empathy to identify one's own emotion and those of others, and strategies for reducing stress and preventing burnout. The course delivered will be delivered in a blended format, combining face-to-face sessions with asynchronous learning via digital materials available on the project's dedicated online platform. And once again, we are therefore using technological and digital tools to provide skills and above all to enhance the social inclusion of certain disadvantaged and often isolated groups, such as formal elderly caregivers from war-torn areas as Ukraine. Thank you very much. I finish.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. So let me welcome our last speaker of today, that is Miss Elisa Guerra. She is working at Comune di Reggio Emilia, that is a municipality, and she will present us the longevity project. So Elisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Elisa Guerra, and I work on the staff of the Community Care Department of the Municipality of Reggio Emilia. And my job is to plan resources and develop projects related to family policy.
Elisa, sorry if I interrupt you. You would prefer that I share your slide?
Share.
Yes, I continue.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. The next one. Okay. The municipality of Reggio Emilia coordinates and leads the European project Longevity, which aims to share best practices with partner countries and organizations. The objective is to understand, in the context of a challenge that affects all participating European countries, which projects and initiatives have been designed and implemented. The next one. The project aim is to understand approaches to longevity in Europe, to identify successful projects and initiatives, to address common challenges and related to aging, and to promote knowledge sharing among partners. Next one. This project originated from the need to gain a deeper understanding of the strategy and best practices. And the goals are to intervene with the vulnerable or frail elderly individual, identify the segment of the population vulnerable to social exclusion, but also consideration of local policy introduced into local and regional policy regarding care and well-being models by adopting integrated and person-centered approaches, and also progressively incorporate several perspectives. So a comprehensive perspective on care and well-being that merge social and health aspects, innovative strategies, including cultural welfare, encouragement of healthy habits, emotional and mental wellness, and availability of quality care and support services. The next one are the longevity specialists, Italy, we lead the project, Denmark, Hungary, Netherlands, Moldova, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Spain, with the support of Emilia-Romagna region in Italy and the Budapest capital district. The next one. Okay, we need to share experience among regions to adopt or draw inspiration from effective practices about the community engagement, the active aging, the multi-sectoral collaboration, the comprehensive approach, and the proximity to healthcare services and accessibility of care. The next one, thank you. Our milestones are to establish the local stakeholder group, mapping, gathering, analyzing data along with a minimum of 3 effective practices, the study visit in European partner regions, and to have workshops, seminars, peer review. Last week, the first study visit took place in the Netherlands, involving representatives from social and healthcare services, as well as key stakeholders. And we have an interagency working group and the community stakeholder group that work with us in the project. The next one, thank you. Torno indietro, okay. We have the common challenges. The common challenges are the access to services and regional inequalities, persistent disparities in healthcare access, the fragmentation of the public system and insufficient holistic orientation, the increase in social isolation, the community engagement for mental health, increasing of psychological distress, the deficit in community culture in relational care. We have challenges in proactive aging and autonomy, increasing loneliness and challenges to autonomy, but also changing family structures and weakening traditional support networks. Also, an holistic approach to well-being, the failure to integrate the concept of beauty into public health, and the current offering of public spaces and cultural sporting and social initiative tends to be polarized, but also about the multi-sector cooperation, the stakeholder fragmentation and institutional slowness, and the prevalence of on-off projects and lack of continuity. One of the common challenges is supporting older people in the use of digital tools. In all the European countries involved in the longevity project, there are digital support points for citizens to help them with administrative procedures and access to services. In the municipality of Reggio Emilia, digital help desks have been established and are managed by local no-profit organizations. They assist citizens in accessing the digital identification system and also support them when they need to submit application to public authorities. But there are older individuals who are not only able to use this tool, but can also support other older people, thereby fostering relationships based on exchange, mutual help, and community support. Next, please. I'd like to present the experience of Reggio Emilia. In the city of Reggio Emilia, demographic data and the work carried out by social services clearly confirm an aging population. However, most individuals who access our services are already very elderly and in condition of dependency. At the same time, we face difficulties in reaching older adults who are still in good health and implementing preventive actions, both from a healthcare and a social perspective. The next one. Over the year, the municipality of Reggio Emilia has designed and implemented several initiatives to promote the active participation of self-sufficient older adults in community life, encouraging knowledge exchange and the sharing of experience. This vision is at the heart of the innovative approach of our administration as embraced in recent years, a sustainable welfare system that supports individuals in all their dimensions: physical, psychological, emotional, relational, and spiritual. A new culture promoting longevity, active aging, and the right to well-being. Our strategies combine prevention, promoting healthy habits and lifestyles, participation, fighting isolation and social marginalization, and accessibility. Through collaboration with the stakeholder and by encouraging community engagement and open dialogue about home care services, proximity and healthcare access, multi-sectoral cooperation, community engagement for mental health care, and cultural welfare. The next one. In conclusion, aging is a shared European challenge, and that collaboration is essential, but we have the need for integrated, preventive, and inclusive approaches, and longevity is an opportunity and not just a challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Thank you so much. So I ask again Elisa and Andrea to come together to answer some questions. So this panel was about digital health and compassionate care, and this is why we invited your speech. I mean, we invited you to have this speech about this project because, of course, aging well is also about health, but at the same time, we are talking today on a topic that is intergenerational exchange. So in this case, we have the caregivers that usually are young people or they are in their middles. So they are usually connected with patients that are not in health, that are usually older. So we have this kind of relation that is in act in these three projects that you presented, actually. So since we just have a few minutes before to close the webinar, I'm going to ask you my second question, actually, that is very similar to the one that we already discussed in panel 1. So in this case, looking at the future of digital caregiving, what should be the cuore of technologies that ensure it remains human-centered. So my question basically is about the digital of caregiving, our technologies in this AI era, it needs to stay human-centered. So what are your reflections about this?
Can I answer?
Of course.
Oh, okay. If we want care to remain human-centered, I think some principles should guide us in the materials. First of all, the dignity. That means that technology must respect people as persons and not just as users or data. Secondly, it occurs me support and compassion that reminds us that digital tools should strengthen human relationship and not replace them. I think that technology should free people from administrative burdens so they can dedicate more time to presence and listening. And I'm wondering about caregivers of oncological patients who have a very heavy emotional burden due to caring of loved ones with a diagnosis in palliative care. To truly bridge the digital divide, accessibility, I think, is crucial. Because the innovation must include everyone across generations, ability, nationality, and levels of digital literacy. And I'm wondering about formal elderly caregivers, I said in my presentation. And finally, I think trust. So the ethical design, the transparency, and the participation of caregivers and patients are necessary for technology to be experienced as care and not as control. In the end, the heart of digital caregiving is not technological itself, but the human connection it enables to avoid, as Mr. Patrick Pennings said at the beginning, that digital isolation become a social isolation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrea. Elisa, you have a comment?
Yeah, and my word is a resource for others, because the innovative perspective that emerged from exchanges with European partners is the importance of not considering all older people as incapable of using the tools, as this could be discriminatory. Like I said, there are older individuals who are able to use these tools and then can also support other people, exchange based on exchange, mutual help, and the community support. It's very important that these skills are recognized, valued, so that older people do not see themselves solely as individuals with needs, but also as a resource for the other, for the community. This, I think, it's very important.
Thank you, Elisa, for your reflection. And I would like to thank all the speakers that we have today, because this was really great. This was very mutual exchange. So first of all, thank you for celebrating with us the Solidarity Between Generation Day. So that was actually today. So we organized it on the right day, on the 29th of April. So I'm really happy that you were together with us until the end of this webinar. So I really hope that this exchange was useful for all of you, for the ones that are starting the project now, for the ones that already ended it, but they would like to capitalize it or to continue growing their initiative. So this is a partnership that we can grow together between different countries in Europe and abroad. So I hope that this could be still useful for your future activities. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Carlotta.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.